That afternoon, I was driving home along a quiet road near the edge of town when something small suddenly ran across the street in front of my vehicle. I quickly slowed down and stopped, afraid I might accidentally hit it. A tiny black puppy stood trembling near the roadside. Its fur was dirty and tangled, and its skinny little body looked weak from hunger. The puppy stared at me nervously for a few seconds before letting out a soft cry. At first, I thought it was just another abandoned stray wandering alone, but something about the situation felt wrong. The puppy didn't run away like most street dogs do. Instead, it kept looking behind itself toward a nearby wooded area, then back at me again, almost like it was trying to tell me something. I slowly crouched down and called softly to it. "Hey, little guy, where did you come from?" The puppy hesitated for a moment, then suddenly turned and began running toward the trees. Not fast, just enough to make sure I followed. And for some reason, I did. The deeper I walked toward the edge of the forest, the quieter everything became. Dry leaves cracked beneath my shoes, while the tiny puppy kept glancing back to make sure I was still behind it. After a few minutes, it finally stopped beside a cluster of bushes hidden near an old ditch. That was when I saw them. Several tiny puppies were curled together in the dirt, and beside them lay their mother, completely motionless. For one terrifying second, I honestly thought she was already dead. The mother dog's body was painfully thin, her fur covered in mud and dust. Her breathing was so weak I could barely notice it at all. The puppies kept climbing against her body, searching for milk, but she didn't respond. The little black puppy I had followed immediately ran to her side and whimpered softly. That sound broke my heart. I rushed forward and carefully checked the mother dog's condition. Her body was cold, and her pulse felt frighteningly weak. She looked completely exhausted, like she had spent every last ounce of strength trying to protect her puppies. I knew there wasn't time to waste. Working in rescue had taught me basic emergency care, and at that moment, instinct took over. I gently laid the mother dog flat and immediately started CPR compressions, carefully pressing against her chest while trying to stimulate her breathing. "Come on, stay with me," I whispered desperately. The puppies huddled nearby, crying softly while I continued chest compressions. After several moments, I used emergency stimulant medication from the rescue kit I kept in my vehicle and carefully gave her small amounts of water. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly her body twitched slightly. A weak breath escaped her mouth. I immediately continued helping her breathe and kept gently rubbing her chest to maintain circulation. A few minutes later, the mother dog finally opened her eyes slightly. She looked confused and exhausted, but alive. Honestly, I nearly cried from relief. The tiny black puppy immediately ran over and pressed itself against her neck, wagging its tail weakly. Even in her condition, the mother dog tried lifting her head toward her puppies. That moment reminded me how powerful a mother's instinct can be. Even while collapsing from exhaustion, she had still stayed beside her babies. I carefully gathered all the puppies together, wrapped them in blankets, and carried the entire little family into my vehicle. The mother dog was still extremely weak, but at least she was breathing more steadily now. The drive to the veterinary center felt endless. I kept glancing back the entire time, worried the mother dog might stop breathing again before we arrived. The puppies huddled tightly together beside her, occasionally making tiny crying sounds as the car moved. When we finally reached the veterinary clinic, the staff immediately rushed to help. The veterinarians quickly examined the mother dog and confirmed what we already suspected. She was suffering from severe dehydration, exhaustion, and malnutrition. Her body had been pushed far beyond its limits, trying to survive while feeding several puppies at once. The doctors immediately connected intravenous fluids and nutrient support to stabilize her condition. Watching the clear fluids slowly drip into her fragile body felt emotional somehow, like life itself was slowly returning to her little by little. Meanwhile, the veterinary staff and I carefully cleaned the puppies. The amount of dirt coming off their tiny bodies was unbelievable. Warm water slowly revealed soft fur underneath all the mud and dust, Despite everything they had gone through, the puppies were incredibly gentle and hungry. Very hungry. The moment we prepared food, they immediately crowded around the bowls with tiny wagging tails. Seeing them finally eat properly after who knows how long made everyone in the room smile. While the puppies ate, I stayed beside the mother dog for hours. For nearly 5 hours, she remained connected to fluids and supportive treatment, while the veterinarians monitored her condition carefully. Slowly, her breathing became steadier, her eyes looked more alert. Eventually, she even managed to lift her head on her own. That small movement felt like a miracle. When the doctors finally confirmed she was stable enough to rest comfortably, I carefully carried her to the washing area to clean her properly for the first time. The warm water ran brown beneath her body as weeks of dirt and neglect washed away. Throughout the bath, she remained unbelievably calm, almost too tired to react much at all. But I noticed something important. She no longer looked afraid. Maybe deep down, she finally understood that nobody here intended to hurt her or her babies. After the bath, I gently dried her fur using warm air while wrapping the puppies in soft towels nearby. One by one, the tiny puppies eventually curled up together and fell asleep after finally eating full meals. The rescue center suddenly felt strangely peaceful. Just hours earlier, this family had been struggling to survive alone beside a forest ditch. Now they were warm, clean, safe, and together. Later that night, once the mother dog had regained enough strength, we carefully allowed the puppies to nurse again. Watching them crawl toward her, while she quietly rested her head beside them, was one of the most emotional moments I had experienced in rescue work. Because animals never stop being mothers, even after starvation, even after collapse, even after nearly dying. The following weeks became a long journey of recovery. Every day, the puppies grew stronger. Their tiny personalities slowly appeared one by one. Some became playful and energetic almost immediately, while others remained quiet and attached to their mother constantly. The little black puppy who first led me into the forest quickly became especially attached to me. Every time I entered the room, it would wobble toward me with its tail wagging proudly, almost like it remembered being the one who brought me there. And honestly, maybe it did. The mother dog improved steadily too. Nutritious meals, medical care, rest, and safety slowly transformed her. The terrified, exhausted stray I found unconscious in the woods gradually became calm, affectionate, and protective in the gentlest way possible. One evening, while watching the puppies sleep beside their mother, I quietly realized something. If that tiny black puppy had not crossed the road in front of my car that day, I never would have found them. The mother dog probably would not have survived the night, and neither would some of the puppies. That thought stayed with me for a long time. People often say rescue workers save animals, but sometimes it feels like animals are the ones leading us exactly where we are needed most. Months later, I officially decided to keep the mother dog and her puppies permanently. By then, they had already become part of my daily life. Watching them run, play, eat happily, and sleep safely together healed something inside me too. Now every morning at the rescue center begins with wagging tails, excited barking, and several puppies running toward me the moment they hear my footsteps. And every time I see that little black puppy among them, I still remember the moment it stopped in the middle of the road and silently asked me to follow. Thankfully, I did.